Hello and welcome to the video on how to send leads or contacts between two Infusionsoft accounts. Now this may be used for people that have marketing or promotion affiliates on their own Infusionsoft app that want to forward these leads through at a certain point, either after lead generation, after a product has been purchased and so on. Or you may have two Infusionsoft apps for different divisions and brands within one company, and you want to share their contacts at certain points of the campaign between these two apps. Now the way to do that is to first jump inside the Infusionsoft account, and you need to do this in both accounts to set up that link to each other. So inside both Infusionsoft accounts, hover over the Infusionsoft logo to bring up the main nav. Under Admin, click on Settings. When you're inside the settings, you then need to click on Relationships. You'll need to make this connection by putting the Infusionsoft application name of the other app that you want to be sending or receiving information to and from. Put in the app name, and this is always just the 5 characters before the .infusionsoft.com, and then the encrypted key. Now you can find the encrypted key by looking under Application Settings and Application, scroll down to the bottom and copying it from here. So you'll obviously need to grab the other app's encrypted key as well. Once you've set up that relationship, click Save here, and that will now be saved as an existing relationship. Make sure you do the same on the other app, so we'd need to go to QI175 and make the same connection there. Okay, once you're there, you then need to click on Lead Distribution Rules, and we need to add a new rule. When you add a new rule table, make a name for it. This is just where we're going to set the rule itself. So this might be send leads to other app. And obviously you want it to make more sense to your specific situation. Click Create here. And then it will ask if you want to set a rule. Now you don't have to set a rule. This rule just basically means that you can have a whole heap of different systems that it's going to based on a custom field or a location that the person's situated in. Any of those custom fields. You'll see in the rule types that you can either make it always true, and when this rule is run, it will always send to QI175, and we just click Save. Alternatively, you can make it based on specific information. So it will check first if it hits certain criteria. It might be the address, as I mentioned, it might be certain different custom fields, and only then it will send it to QI175. In my case, at one point, I want all leads in this certain campaign to be sent through to QI175. So that's that rule set up. So we've set up the link between the two accounts in the relationship. We've set up the lead distribution rule table. So now if we go back to the lead distribution rules, you'll be able to see down here, sends leads to other app, and that's going to send it through. So that lead rule is set up, lead distribution rule, and this one here in this case is set up to always be true. So anyone when this rule is met will be going straight through to the other app. We've now got to set up an action set to distribute these leads. So we do that by hovering over Infusionsoft and clicking under Marketing on Settings. And this is a legacy feature. This is before Campaign Builder existed, about three or so years ago. So we go into the action sets, which you saw I selected from the left-hand menu, and that will bring up this action set here. Now, all we have to do is set up an action set so that we can put it inside Campaign Builder. And this action set is going to distribute the lead based on the lead distribution rule that we created. And in this case, it was send everyone to this particular app, QI175. So we're going to name this action set. So distribute leads to partner Infusionsoft app, for example. Whatever you want to name that. Under here, you'll be able to see distribute record to another Infusionsoft application. That's exactly what we want to do. So we click on that action set, and it will then ask us to use a rule. And in this case, we're going to use the, what was it called? The send leads to other app, there it is. And we then need to click Save. You can put further rules in here if they have to have this tag to be able to send them through and so on, if you want to put even further checks and balances in place. But if you're only using this in one place in the campaign to do one thing with this particular action set, then you don't need to send any further rules. We now click Save. And save again, and that's created our action set. Now let's jump into our campaign builder, and this, for an example, is a a campaign that I've set up. So for example, let's say that when they purchase a specific product inside our Infusionsoft app, we want to send it to QI175, this other app that we've got. So the purchase product might be, in this case, a purchase goal, and it pushes through into this sequence. So in this sequence, we want to make sure that we send it to, we don't want to assign an owner, we want to send it to the other app. And in this case, we want to use an action set to do that. We've already created that action set just a second ago. So let's click on action sets. We'll drag that in from the processes toolbar on the side, and we'll select the action set that we made, which was called, there it is, distribute lead to partner Infusionsoft app, save. And we'll just rename it so that we know what it's about. And we'll turn it to draft, we'll turn it to ready rather, and click publish. So that's how you can basically set up that relationship between two Infusionsoft apps. So to recap, the things that you need to first do are under settings in admin, click on relationships and set up that connection with the encrypted key between the two apps. They both need to have that selected before it will work properly and have this relationship set up. You then need to make a lead distribution rule that you can use in creating the action set. If the lead distribution rule may be very basic and maybe almost empty in the sense that there's no rule. Everyone gets this applied. You then need to go under marketing settings and create an action set. A new action set which has that rule applied. The action set that you're using is the distribute record to another Infusionsoft application. It'll ask you to then select the rule, and we're going to use in our case the rule that didn't really have any requirements in it. Everyone goes through, and then you've got an action set created. You can then use that action set to be triggered inside Campaign Builder. Dragging the action set into the sequence itself where you want to send that lead to the other Infusionsoft app and selecting that particular action set. I hope that's proved helpful. Don't hesitate to send any questions to grace@automatemybiz.com.au. Thank you.